Right, good morning. Thursday the 25th of November today, 2021. I had a lovely overnight rest, had a good sleep last night. Bit of a rain shower again, so that's interesting. And obviously the ever necessary and ever required coffee. So I'm gonna make a nice cup of coffee out in the bush. Got some beautiful bird song around at the moment. Got quite a short ride planned today, but we'll see how it goes. But other than that, I'm going to take another road that's supposed to be known as the highest tar road in South Africa. So it's got a bit of a pass that goes down to Lydenburg, and that's in Mpumalanga. So going from Limpopo to Mpumalanga, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. It should be cool. It should be nice. But we definitely need our morning coffee. That's critical. So everywhere I've been has had rain. So that's interesting. And before I left for the trip, one of the notes that I'd made on the notepad was, drink lots of water, it's going to be hot. It hasn't been hot, and it's rained just about every night. So very interesting, but it's been great so far. And the water is boiled. Perfect. Oops, let's do that. And then we can, pour the coffee there. Perfect. Put that on so we can have nog 'n koppie just now. So there we go. Coffee, ruikt lekker. Oh, lovely. Good job. Happy about that. So yeah, we'll chat as the day progresses. And yeah, beautiful day. First sip of coffee gives me strength. Cheers, bye. Alright, so just left the campsite. It's just before 8 o'clock in the morning, and if you look right ahead of me, we've got a great big lion. Look at the size of the thing, it's beautiful. Hey lion, very nice. So it's called Terblance and Zil, white lion, Panthero Leo Kruger, lifespan of 10 to 16 years. Oh, look at that beautiful lion in front of me. Hectic. I just hope they didn't. Hey Terblance, how are you? Are you good? Hey Liony, are you good? Alright, so yeah, at ThandaBantu game lodge, and there's a great big lion standing behind me. So yeah, very very interesting. Like I thought, with regards to the baobab flowers, I did not pick a baobab flower. I only picked one off the ground, that I promise, because I know about the Bushman legend, and I certainly don't want the guy behind me mauling me to death. But yeah, so beautiful animals. You can see the Terblance and Zil are currently there, and they're enjoying themselves. So yeah, so we're going to walk down, and there's another Couple of lions just beneath me, another two, male and a female. Getting through these gates hopefully. I can't run fast enough away from a lion. They will eat me. They will be eaten. So yeah, this is Mandela and Winnie. Oh, very nice. Hello Winnie. How are you, Winnie? This lion's name is Winnie, and the lion at the back is Mandela. So these are brown lions, Panthera leo. Lifespan 10 to 14 years, speed 80 kilometers per hour, mass male 190 kilograms, female 130 kilograms, and height 1.2 meters. Oof. Did you know lions can be found in savannas, grasslands, dense bush and woodlands? Yeah, so some amazing animals there, some amazing lions. Yeah, anyway, the size of those puerta. Hectic, man. Oh, very cool. Definitely don't want to mess with those oaks. I won't mess with those oaks. You can see the guy behind me again. That is Blanche. And let's see what else they've got. I think I've got some wolves as well. Check now. Bah. Ah, so the wolves go have a whole round thingy. And we've got some more cages here. They're the wolves. And it looks like we've got some civet cats, it looks like. Possibly. Also very beautiful. You can see them there. Might be able to see them in the distance there. Oh, hello. Hey, putty tat. How are you, putty tat? Very pretty. Oh, so here's the wolves again. They're not happy chappies. They don't like me. They want to dig under to get to me. Sorry, Wolfie. Oh, so just walking back to the bike. My wolves on the left are not happy campers. They're not happy at all with me. Hey, Wolfie. Hey, Wolfie. They want to dig underneath the fence to get to me. The lions not so much, but the wolves were a little bit rough. And yeah, so let's head out for the day. That was a nice little stop off. We'll come and spend some time at the lodge tomorrow, I think. And that's it for now. We'll get onto the road and head out. Cheers. But I'm now taking the R577 and there's a nice pass. It's apparently the highest tar road pass in the country. So let's see what it's like. It looks quite misty, but yeah, let's set the cameras on and see how that goes. So we'll chat a little bit later as we progress. Cheers, bye. Right, so yeah, that pass that I mentioned this morning was a nice challenge. I got, mist, I hate mist. If it's the worst riding condition that you have, either mist and thick sand, those two things, and mud. There's a lot of mud around as well, so yeah. Anyway, so the pass was shrouded in mist. At one stage I had to slow down considerably to be able to clean my glasses. They were full, the visor was full of mist. So there's very little you can do in situations like that. So yeah, the mist was quite thick, and it'll probably be the same on the way back. I had to stop the camera as well because there's too much water on it. But yeah, so I got through to Lydenburg. Lydenburg is in Mpumalanga. So I crossed over the border. It should have been just be Limpopo, but I have crossed over into Mpumalanga now. Lovely. You can see behind me some beautiful green hills. That's called Spitskop, just outside of Lydenburg or Mashashing. I need to find out about those towns as well and research the names and the meanings behind it. That's it for now. Cheers, bye. Alright, so yes, after a bit of a muddy ride, I eventually got to Mapoch's caves. So this is an interesting story in our history. It's an interesting story of an African Masada, known as, or was referred to, and it had to do with Chief Nyabela, who was in a mountain stronghold. It's called an African Masada, Nyabela, Mampuru, and the defense of Mapoch. And apparently this mountain stronghold, I was trying to say this name correctly, Ko Nom Charhelo is the name of the mountain where Nyabela had his fortress, and he had harbored a fugitive in Mampuru, was a chief as well, who had apparently killed another chief, and the Boers of that time, the ZAR Republic, were very, very upset by this, and they demanded that Nyabela hand Mampuru over, and Nyabela refused. He also didn't like the Boers, he didn't want to have anything to do with them, and the Boers laid siege to get their surrender of Mampuru and Nyabela. So, see the rocks ahead of me, they were all laid flat stoned. You can see that. So that's part of the fortresses that they had built. Oh, so the Boers laid siege for 8 months at these caves. And it was apparently a very interesting cave structure and a whole network of caves where the people of Mapoch or Nyabela had found refuge. And eventually the Boers brought some cannons in and blasted away to try and destroy the fortress and the ramparts, or the stone walls all the way around here, but weren't very successful. So they marked on a siege of the place, forced them into starvation and hunger so that they would surrender. You can see the rocks over here. This is all part of the fortress. Now we're getting to the proper section. You can see the stone walls. These were the, what do you call, ramparts, if you want to call it that. And the people of Nyabela that had actually had firearms. And the Boers were a bit worried about that. And they were sniped and they were shot at. You can see probably a second firing line there. The Boers were situated in the distance, and they've laid siege to the Nyabela's people. A very, very interesting place. It would have been a formidable fortress, that's for sure. An absolutely formidable fortress. And this is where the Boers eventually dynamited, I think the story goes. They laid siege like in the old days, the siege cannon, and that's the rocks all around. So the caves are closed because they were closed by dynamite. You can see over there a lot of rubbish, but that would lead probably into the caves. That's quite high up. It goes high. So that was quite a climb. Very unfit. I need to get back to the gym when I get done with the tour, that's for sure. But yes, so I have to read a passage. For years prior to this, Mampuru had been engaged in a power struggle with his half-brother Sekukune. He was another king a big king in the 1800s, mid-1882. In mid-1882, some of his followers attacked the old chief's kraal and murdered him. On 2 previous occasions, the ZAR authorities had attempted to arrest Mampuru for fomenting disorder, and this latest outrage was the last straw. Mampuru and his supporters sought refuge with Makwani, one of Nyabela's subordinate chiefs. When ordered to extradite the fugitive, Nyabela made the fateful decision not to do so. Whatever his reasons, it gave credence to rumours that he and Mampuru were jointly plotting to coordinate a general uprising of black communities in the Transvaal against the Boer Republic. By the end of October 1882, a vanguard of Joubert's commando, which was about 2,000 strong, began arriving in this area. An ultimatum was sent to Nyabela, giving him one last chance to surrender Mampuru, or there would be war and they would be killed and they would be taken on. But for one thing, illicit trading in guns had provided both Nyabela and Mampuru with extensive firearms. Any hopes he might have had for compliance were soon disappointed. Nyabela famously answered to the Boers that he had swallowed Mampuru, and if the Boers wanted him, they would have to kill him and take him out of his belly. So that's the kind of humour that Chief Mampuru had. And obviously the Boers were not happy with that, and there were many other hills around. There are quite a few hills around, Kwa Pondo and Kwa Mshrali. So the war started, or the siege started, in December 1882. So yeah, this is where the caves were, and it's said that the caves were, as I think I might have mentioned, were very extensive. So you would see the locals or the tribe going into one side of the cave, and a kilometre out, another distance, and over a kilometre, they'd be coming outside of the caves. So very extensive caves and very extensive fortifications all around here. But really quite a historic place. The Boers obviously did not like them saying to them, nope, not going to come with you, we will fight. And that they did. They fought for 8 months, and eventually a lot of them were starving because there's no more food. They couldn't get food in because the Boers had closed off all the access points to the caves. But yeah, so this is Mapoch's caves and a little bit about the history around the caves. But very interesting fortifications, very interesting buildings, very interesting building. Didn't have any brick and mortar. It was all just rocks laid one on top of the other, as you can see in front of me over there. Many fortifications. So you could imagine the soldiers in these areas lying in wait, sniping them. And the town that I've been staying at is Ruis Senekal, and it is actually named after 2 Boers that died, the first 2 Boers that died during the fight, and the one surname was Ruis, and the other surname was Senekal, and that's why the town was named Ruis Senekal. Imagine it would have been a very difficult task to have dislodged these guys. So they knew the territory well, and they knew all the nooks and crevices, nooks and crannies, and they could defend it very well. last year. Very interesting story. An African Masada, as it is called. So relating to the Masada that happened with Israel and the Romans and the Jews on top of the hill. This was a South African version of that. Yeah, just after a nice walk around. So here's the statue in honor of Chief Nyabela, and this is where his mountain kingdom was and his mountain fortress, and where the Boers took 8 months to dislodge him at the fortress, and are known as the African Masada. So very cool, very glad that I could come and pay homage to Chief Nyabela, 1883, and to say thank you for your service, thank you for what you did for the country, because the purpose behind the monument is nation building, and it's about peace. I'll show you now. So the sign says Chief Nyabela, 1883. This monument is erected and opened on the 19th of the 12th, 1970 by Paramount David Mapoch on behalf of the Ndebele nation, to extend peace, goodwill and unity towards all nations. So a very important message and a very special message. So thank you Paramount David Mapoch, and thank you to the Ndebele nation. Right, so wherever you are in the world, if you watch this, don't watch this, doesn't really matter to me. We're now going to have dinner. We have a beautiful braai and we're going to enjoy. Bon appetit wherever you are. Cheers. Bye.